600 to 700 horsepower. And the acceleration is just mind-bending on these boats. There's a whole lot of changing up of the schedule here, so trying to get some information on what class we're going to run after the National Mods. But I can tell you for sure, National Mods, our first racing class up for the weekend. Okay, I was just informed that our first racing class, National Mods. Following that, K Racing Runabouts, 1,500 horsepower, blown alcohol, flat bottom ski boats. 4 of them on the race course. They'll split your eardrums. These boats have some unbelievable horsepower. Mind-bending acceleration. Boy, you think a National Mod can accelerate. There isn't too many boats out there that can accelerate with a properly set up K-boat with a properly trained driver. These boats are an unbelievable handful. Now, just like on the hydroplane, the attitude of the boat, the trim of the boat is controlled by the driver's left foot. The difference is it's not an airfoil wing on the front of the boat. It's a plate on the back of the boat at the bottom. It's controlled by the foot pedal of the driver. And if a driver of a K Racing Runabout doesn't control his plate properly while he's feeding in throttle, really, really scary things can happen. So these boats are so unbelievably overpowered that the driver must be absolutely accomplished before any of these owners will let them in the boat. 2,200-pound boat. 1,600 horsepower, blown alcohol. Pretty much an alcohol funny car engine in a flat bottom ski boat. And I'll say it again, I really apologize for the problems we had setting up the race course. And we can't apologize for the weather. Mother Nature handles that, but once we get everything situated here. We're going to put some wild mod action on here. National Mods, K Racing Runabouts. Don't forget, your pass to get in here, your pass to get in the pits. Good for tomorrow too. really appreciate Tony Black for coming down and giving us some insight on this class, National Modified. He taught me something. I didn't know they made 600 plus horsepower.
Wow.
I want to thank the volunteers one more time. Can't do this without volunteerism. Thank the sponsors. Can't do this without sponsors. I want to apologize for all of our problems because this can be an incredible show. Come back tomorrow. We'll be running heats all day long. I'm sure we'll get an early start because all the boats that traveled from all over the country that did not get to run today, chomping at the bit to get out there tomorrow. Unlike the vintage boats, these boats again are we're going to start with a 5-minute period. They're going to go out there and get the heat in the boat. They're going to do their timing runs. You'll see them do acceleration runs out of turn 2, which is to our left, right to the start-finish line. Drivers are strapping into the National Mods. We are getting close. Ooh, I hear a K Racing runabout starting in the pits. It's either a K runabout or one of those vintage Grand Prix, but that is definitely an alcohol burning blown motor on the pit started up. One to the 5 for our first racing heat, second annual Seneca Thunder Bowl, Hydro Bowl. Again, that 1 to the 5 means that we are 60 seconds away from the 5-minute period beginning our first racing heat of the day. Hydro Bowl on Seneca Lake about to start. One last apology for the holdup, but we're going National Mods. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. The 5-minute period has begun. At this point, the drivers can leave right now or they can wait a few minutes. They must come out onto the race course, make one full lap, and come across the start-finish line so our scorers can make sure that they're on the course. But they don't absolutely have to come out until the clock reaches 1 minute before the start. At that point, modified Chevy H. Modified 32, all jacked up. Heat ignite. propeller loading and unloading in the turn. That's one thing that makes it really tough on an inboard powerboat. The drive line takes a lot of abuse as that propeller bites and then loses grip and bites again. They are still nowhere near up to speed. They're just trying to get a little bit of heat in the oil, make sure that the water temperature and their oil pressure is proper, and then they'll get hard on the throttle and do a timing run. That is a timing run there, hard on the throttle. He needs to know how long it's going to take him to get out of turn 2 to the start-finish line. He wants to be there right as the clock hits 0 with a full head of steam. Tom Newman in the Sun Toy, still trying to get her fired up. He doesn't have to be out until the clock reaches 1, and we are 2 minutes and 15 seconds to the start. On the race course, getting ready to try and start some strategy. Now these modified boats, you won't see them too often slowing down to get into the lane they want. These highly modified motors will load up and foul a spark plug and they're done. So you very rarely see a modified plug using really slow speeds to get the lane they want. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Minute and 15. So now there is 1 minute and 15 seconds to the start. And you saw Don Bershnick just slow down a little bit because if he had gone across that line before the 1 minute pin, he may have gotten a penalty. The other two guys laying back. Being told 8:23, Debbie Weldy's entry, the Geezer boat. That is a 2.5 mod that stepped up into the national mod class. You can hear that engine. That's a highly modified 4-cylinder engine. National mod, again, you can run all kinds of different engine combinations. I know a fellow down south that runs a V6 Chrysler minivan engine in a national mod. We're 30 seconds until the start. Don Bershnick coming around trying to burn up some time. He's a little bit ahead because it's only going to take him about 12 seconds to get out of turn 2 to that start-finish line. And we're at 20 seconds right now. The other two guys are in a real good position here. Keith McKnight. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. And that's a real good start for Keith McKnight. He had a pretty good head of steam. Now, he wasn't running flat out. Man, sorry to see Don Bershnick. Well, he had a real good runner there, just off the pace. Again, these are highly modified engines. Now look at that A-boat running around the outside, but Keith McKnight with that big V8 jams on the throttle and accelerates right up on the inside. Keith McKnight on the inside. Look at Keith McKnight, gets a fight on that propeller and runs out in front of the Joe Sobey driving for Debbie Welty in the 823 Geezer boat. Giving Keith McKnight a hard time. 4 cylinders versus 8 cylinders. But sneaking up on the inside, Don Bershnick. Keith McKnight had plenty of room. He could have come over into lane 1. Right now he can do it also. He has 4 boat lengths, but if he loses that and gets down to 3, he cannot come over in that lane. Second lap coming up. Joe Sobey on the outside in that highly modified 4-cylinder. Joe Sobey on the outside. Keith McKnight on the inside. V8 versus 4-cylinder power. Flags up, we're still racing it. Joe Sobey out in the front in that 4-cylinder powered 2.5 mod Hydro, but look at Keith McKnight. He's got the acceleration. He just doesn't have quite the top end speed through the turn that Joe Sobey does. Joe Sobey going wide, keeping his momentum up. Keith McKnight inside of him, scrubbing up a little speed because he's got a tighter radius in the turn. Ooh, coming up from the inside, Don Burschnick in God Country, pouring it on, coming down for the 3rd lap. Joe Sobey still holding on to the lead, but the other two are right on his hip. What happens here, Joe Sobey with a longer way around these real tight corners. He goes way wide to hold his momentum up. Shorter way around the inside where you scrub off a lot of speed when you load up that boat tight in the turn. Joe Sobey staying out wide, keeping that baby going down the backstretch. White flag will be flying on this lap. This will be the last lap. Got that wrong. Checker flag is flying. It's going to be a drag race out of turn 2. Joe Sobey stays wide to hold that momentum up in that highly modified 4-cylinder against 2 banging V8s on the inside. Let's see, it's a drag race down to the finish. Who's got it? Keith McKnight hard on the throttle, pulls it off. Woo! Man, oh man, and he had what a job coming up through the center. Keith McKnight, and he all jacked up. Been struggling to make a whole lot of speed for the last few seasons. Seems like he found his combination here. Beautiful. Seneca Lake. Woo, boy, that was wild. That 2.5 liter modified Joe Sobey driving Debbie Welly's boat really put on a show. Got quite a bit of pressure from Keith McKnight on the inside. Don Burschnick not running real good in the beginning of the heat. Found the combination, hugging the pins tight, way shorter way around the race course. Caught up. We had a heck of a drag race down the final stoop there. Joe Sobey said, what happened? He thought he had it knocked out. Keith McKnight, hard on the acceleration pedal, snuck up in between them. Waiting to see if there's any calls. Very close here. Came to this race last year and said, boy, this looks like a pretty neat thing to get into. Looked for a boat, talked to the right people, got himself involved, and here he is. The very following year, 365 days almost to the T later, God and Country, National Modified 27, Don Burschnick. Interesting class to start out as a rookie driver, but boy, he did a heck of a job. Listening to the referee to see if there are any calls, but from this trained eye, I didn't see any problems. Looked clean to me.
To bring in a turn judge, make a minor adjustment in the course. 5 liter K and G.
Again, there's quite a few different things that can cause a penalty out there. Jumping the gun, chopping, jumping the 1-minute gun, losing your lane and pushing people out too much. It looked awful clean to me. Let's see, we're waiting on the calls. Whew, interesting to see how that really highly modified 2.5 liter 4-cylinder motor really put up a fight. Did quite a job against those booming V8s. Again, that'll show you Joe Sobey, very accomplished hydroplane driver. Drives a 1 liter modified, national modified. Seen him in 2.5 stocks, I believe, but he also drives some Grand Prix hydroplanes. No Grand Prix hydroplanes here this weekend, but boy, are they a handful. Just like the K Racing runabouts. 1,400 horsepower blown alcohol hydroplanes. So Joe knows about. A lot of sun glare to the right. I'm trying to see if any of the K boats are in the water, but I'm being told they're in the water, coming up soon. K Racing runabouts, a real treat for me, I got to tell you. blown alcohol monsters, 14 to 1600 horsepower. The driver has to have silky smooth feet and hands. Real quick mind. These boats, they can be widowmakers. They are extremely dangerous boat. Again, you must be at least 21 years old, but you're not, no owner is going to put you in the seat of his K-boat unless you have quite a racing resume, preferably out of the pro stock or super stock ranks. As I was saying earlier, the K-Racing runabout demands instant reaction time. The boats, as they come out of the turn, if the driver jams the throttle pedal down and doesn't have control of the trim plate properly, the boat will launch itself into the air. And 9 times out of 10, when that happens, they corkscrew, usually to the left side. If that happens, boy, we're going to have a real handful with a busted up boat. But these drivers are all very accomplished, and smooth as silk is the answer in K-Racing runabout. We have K36, the Patriot. Dale Hernandez Jr. out of St. Paul, Minnesota. K997, the Lightspeed. John Britton, owner and driver. It's out of down in New Jersey, not exactly sure where. K29, J&J Marine. Robert Combry, the driver. Jimmy Klaus is the owner. K999, El Cid, Duff Daly, driver. Unbelievable machine that thing is. Can't wait to get back in the pits and get up close to all those K-boats again. The hardware on these boats is immaculate. Extremely precision prepared machinery. With a 1600 horsepower on a 2200 pound 17 to 20 foot boat, you better have some good hardware now. Okay, after the K-Racing runabouts, after that will be 5-liter hydroplanes, 305 Chevys, 302 Fords. Pretty much stock, but boy do they move out. Water is perfect here. Let's get them out. K-Racing runabouts. Perfect ripple on the water right now. Rollers will hurt you, but ripple is perfect for boat racing. Get that boat broken free of the water. Break the surface tension of the water. Get the boat free and flying. Perfectly glassy water is not the fastest situation for inboard hydroplanes. Again, we're coming up soon. K-Racing runabout, 1600 horsepower blown alcohol flats. I'll take a second again to thank the Seneca County Sheriff's Office Navigation and Dive Team out there helping us out. In case we have any problems, their dive team is going to be right on the job. New York State Park Police, thank you for helping us with this beautiful facility. Yates County Sheriff's Office, Cayuga County Sheriff's Office, and Ontario County Sheriff's Office for helping us out here. I want to also thank the Border City Fire Dive Team. Border City Fire Dive Team and Seneca County Sheriff's Office Navigation and Dive Team both have boats on the race course with certified divers and certified emergency medical technicians. So we want to thank them for coming out here. I want to apologize to them and everybody else for our late start today, but promise you tomorrow morning we're going to get started early and we are going to put on an absolutely outrageous show here. Also want to thank North Seneca Ambulance Squad. Can't do it without you guys. North Seneca Ambulance, thank you guys. Coming up soon. K-Racing Runabouts are coming up real soon. All right. Sorry to inform you, we're going to be on hold here for just a few minutes though. It's not going to be long. We have to get a turn judge out of the turn boats. Explain to you what a turn judge does. Qualified drivers or riders in Jersey Speed Skiffs are asked at every event to volunteer for turn judge duty. And that real nice express cruiser boat on the right, pontoon boat on the left in the turns are both manned by licensed drivers or Jersey Speed Skiff riders or longtime veterans in the sport volunteer. They're the ears and eyes of the referee in the turns. Problem is, when we get the schedule manipulated like we did, a driver of a Grand National hydroplane might be out there because his original schedule had him in the afternoon. He'll be out there for the morning. When the schedule gets mixed around like that, sometimes we have to swap him, get him back in here. So right now we're on hold for just a few minutes till we get the turn judges swapped out on one of the turn boats. It's a thankless job being a turn judge. You go out there and you might have to call one of your best friends for doing something stupid in a turn. Please, when the race boats are on the water, actually from now on for the rest of the day, please stand back from the seawall. Please do not stand on top of the seawall. Stand back from the seawall about 2 or 3 feet, please. If we're in the middle of a racing heat and there are people on top of the seawall, we may have to shut it down. So please, just stand back 2, maybe 3 feet away from the seawall. Now we're getting some gusty wind. K-Racing Runabouts can handle a little bit of ripply water, and they're not as terribly affected by the wind as these hydroplanes are. You'll notice that these boats lay flat. They don't leap, and unless something's wrong, they don't dance side to side. They run in a flat, straight trajectory. Of course, that's if everything's right, the driver's got his act together and everything's dialed in. If a K-Racing Runabout gets out of shape, it can turn into a really bad situation really quick. So one more time, I want to thank the Seneca County Sheriff's Office, Navigation and Dive Team, New York State Park Service, or Park Police, Yates County Sheriff's Office, Cayuga County Sheriff's Office, Ontario County Sheriff's Office, Border City Fire and Dive Team, and North Seneca Ambulance Squad. Can't do it without you guys. Thanks again. just been informed that we're a little bit of a waiver. We usually have to be finished up racing by 5 o'clock, but we're allowed to race till 7 here. That's great. So we might be able to get just about all of our racing program for Saturday in here today. Unfortunately, the weather can bite us. It's happens often. Some of these teams might drive up to 1,000 miles and sit and watch the wind blow all weekend, but fortunately, the weather settled down and we finally got our problems with the race course under control. We're here to race. The revised schedule. We saw the National Modified. K-Boat's up next. After that, 5 liters. Following the 5 liters, Grand National Hydroplane, the big block hydroplanes. Then we'll go to the 2.5 stock first qualifier, 2.5 stock second qualifier, pro stock, 1.5 stock hydroplane. Looks to me like after the T-boats, it's more pro stocks, then the 2.5 mods. You saw Joe Sovian and Debbie Weldy's beautiful geezer boat. Almost took a win there in National Mod in the first heat. And we're going to have our SEs, our new flat bottom class, small block stock flat bottoms. Finishing up the day, 1 liter mods. Boy, is that an interesting machine. All you gearheads out there. 1 liter mods are powered by jet ski engines. Or Yamaha Wave Runners are the preferred engine actually, but these are 2-cycle personal watercraft engine powered hydroplanes. Little things, man, do they fly, and they make a whole lot of noise too. So we'll end up the day today with 1 liter modified hydroplanes. I want to thank Ellen Memorial Healthcare Center, Zotos International, Reale Fence, Elderly Incorporated, Hotel Exchange, Casella Recycling, Supergen Products, the Lions National Bank, Seneca Meadows Landfill, and Smith Center for the Arts, historic Smith Opera House, for their sponsorship and help putting this event on. As soon as we get the turn judges straightened out, K-Racing runabouts. Big treat for me. I love these boats. We don't get to see them a whole lot. Again, I'm from Region 3, which is the New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware area. We don't get a whole lot of K-Racing runabouts down there, so it's a privilege for me to come up north and see a good full field, 4 boats. A treat for me, and I think it'll be a treat for you if you like loud, fast, monstrous race boats.
Mitch, people down by turn 2 over the wall. They have to get out of there before we can run.
People on the seawall on the far left end of this facility, all the way down, please get back from the seawall or we will not be able to continue racing. Please, anybody that's along the seawall, if you see anybody that doesn't hear me, please ask them to step back. We'll be on hold if you do not get away from the seawall. People on the state park side, the far left side of this facility, when you're looking out at the water, far left, please stand back from the seawall. If you cannot hear me, if someone can hear me and see them down there, please ask the people to pull away from the seawall. Thank you very much for moving back from the seawall. Now we can go racing. Very important to keep people away from the seawall. Now, even though you may think that these boats are way far away from the shore here, it is possible that you could have a hardware failure and the boat will turn right radically. So in safety's interest and to keep our insurance carriers happy, we thank you very much for staying back off the seawall. Not far, just a couple feet. Rescue personnel is back on the race course, dropping off that turn judge. K-boat drivers are ready to go, strapped in. These guys are all strapped in a 5-point harness, fully enclosed capsule, supplied air. They also have a microphone in their helmet and an earpiece so they can be in contact with their crew chief on the bank here. One to the five, folks. We are 1 minute away from the big, monstrously horse-powered flat-bottom ski boats known as the K Racing Runabout. Dale Hernandez Jr., John Britton, Robert Convery, and Duff Daly are going to duke it out here for accomplished flat-bottom drivers. Not sure, but this might be Robert Convery's first ride in a K. I'm not sure about that. But I do know that Dale Hernandez and John Britton and Duff Daly, veterans in this class. And that end, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. 5-minute period has begun. K Racing Runabout, 1,600 horsepower monsters. Often wondered what it would be like, what kind of guts it would take to sit in that seat with 1,600 horsepower blown alcohol engine right on your right shoulder. The drive shaft comes forward off of the engine to a gearbox right by your right knee. Gearbox changes direction of the driveline in a V configuration right out through the bottom of the boat to a 2-blade propeller. The crew chief that can figure out how to hook all that horsepower up to the water is the one that's going to be out in front. Robert Convery and Jimmy Klaus's J&J Marine K29. One of the very few K boats in the country where the driver is not restrained. He is sitting in a bucket seat. A little bit of a problem getting off the bank there. First one out with Duff Daly. Now that's a K Racing Runabout, folks. Let me tell you something. Big horsepower. These guys aren't going to really get on the throttle full bore until they get a little bit of heat in the oil. Holding the lead right now. Still in the 5-minute period. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to the start. Duff Daly in the K99. El Cid. Robert Convery coming around, sitting in a bucket seat, wedging himself in to try and hold on to that beast. J&J Marine. The Patriot, Dale Hernandez Jr. Light speed, all up the field. We are 2 minutes and 31 seconds to the start. Oh boy, now I am a true boat racing freak, so I got the goosebumps going on already. 15 seconds. So we are at 2 minutes and 8 seconds to the start. At 1 minute and 15 before the start, we're going to score right in front of us at the start finish line here. Duff Daly doing his time trial. Robert Carver crossed through the infield there. That's a legal move. Get himself set up to be at the right place at the right time. And we are 1 minute 22 seconds to the start. We got 5 seconds now to get over here to take their lane. All right. The 1:15 period has begun. The white flag is up. That flag will fly until the start. And we'll go green again. Next time you see the white flag fly will be the last lap. Robert Carver. 25 seconds to the start. John Britton, Dale Hernandez Jr. way behind. Dale Hernandez pulls the boat to the infield. I thought it didn't sound healthy. We're at 13 seconds to the start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, and we are racing. They're all behind the clock. Duff Daly leads the pack across the field. John Britton got all kinds of swirling coming out of cover 2 there. Junior pulls back out onto the race course. Bob's some 80s. Beautiful. 36 to the Patriot. Duff Daly going wide. No pressure at all from Robert Convery or John Britton. Duff Daly in the LC. Robert Convery coming through. Bravest man on the race course right now, the SB. Dale Hernandez Jr. trying to finish. Now he's going to pull it to the infield again. John Britton, way off of his normal pace. These guys are blue and yellow flag flying to let the other drivers know. The race course down on the race course. Dale Hernandez Jr. What he was doing there, boy, I gotta tell you something. That was a really risky move by Dale Hernandez. Blue and yellow flag can come in now because Dale's off of the race course. John Britton coming up to take his almost final lap. The white flag will be flying next time around. John Britton with the light speed. flag is up. This is the last lap. Duff Daly, the El Cid, coming down in the front chute, getting no pressure at all from Robert Carberry, so he doesn't have to do anything risky. Duff Daly taking it easy. No pressure whatsoever on anybody. Robert Carberry. Woo! Listen to that monster. J&J bringing Jim Clausen in. Robert Carberry driving. By Dale Hernandez Jr. going pretty outside there. That's going to give Duff Daly quite a scare. John Britton way off the pace. Duff Daly normally drives for John Britton in the pro stock class. Duff Daly wants to see if he can put John down. Checker flag is up. That is not. Woo! Look at that. Duff Daly takes the win. You saw that boat jump out of the water is what I was telling you about. John Britton, hard on the throttle, leaps the boat right up into the air. Luckily, the boat stayed flat and re-entered the water, no problem. Robert Carberry coming around to finish up with Jimmy Clausen, J&J Marine. Throttle control is key in this class. Well, he's not running well either. I can hear that thing breaking up. So it's Robert Carberry doing a good job finishing up with Jimmy Clausen, J&J Marine. Both of those guys out of southern New Jersey. Here, Robert Carberry having a hard time keeping her going. Again, these are really highly modified, blown 600 cubic inch V8s, 1,600 horsepower. John Britton finishes it up. Whew. Next up, 5-liter hydros. Stock class, these are stock 305 Chevrolets or 302 Fords. We're also allowed to use an old 273 Plymouth, but nobody's using them anymore. Duff Daly taking a victory lap in that beautiful El Cid. Now that is a machine that you have got to get in the pits to see. Normally I'll go and look a boat over for about 3 to 5 minutes, but I spent about 25 or 30 minutes last night looking that boat over. It is unbelievable. That boat alone is worth a $10 pit pass, so get in there and check out that equipment. Listening to see if there's any calls. I don't believe there were any calls. Nobody jumped the gun, I know that for sure, and I didn't see any lane infringements, so I'm still waiting for the official on that, though. The lineup for the 5-liter class coming up. No calls, that was clean. Duff Daly winning. Robert Carberry in second, John Britton in third. And a DNF from Dale Hernandez Jr. Gave all of us on the start line a little bit of a thrill there when he decided to pull off the race course right in front of Duff Daly. Thank goodness Duff was on the ball, because the visibility inside these cockpits is not what it used to be. It's a little bit tough to see around you. Five leaders coming up. E97, Team Extreme, Todd Liddycoat, owner-driver. E17, Modern Drummer, Jeffrey Sanker. E500, Senseless 14, Don Less. E2, Richard Honon, and Mr. Honon. Beautiful boat down here from Canada. Normally runs as a H350. 5-liter back in that baby. Show up to Geneva Lake and give the other guys a hard time. Seneca Lake, forgive me. Boy, it sure is nice here when the weather clears up. Gorgeous lake. Real good conditions now. Boy, we really struggled to get everything together, but I'll tell you what, some beautiful hydroplane racing conditions here. K-boats were a little bit spread out. No close racing there. Those crew chiefs will thrash on those boats. Now they got an idea what they have to do. They might change the prop or change the injector settings. Take boost out of it, put boost into it. Whatever they got to do to get it to go. You can see them bunched up a little better their next heat. Back to the 5-liters though. These are, again, stock 305 Chevrolets or 302 Fords. I don't know of anybody that's been messing with Fords lately. Just about exclusively a 5-liter Chevrolet class. These motors could come out of anything from a IROC Camaro to a pickup truck to an Impala station wagon. So they're a fairly common motor built all through the late 60s and 70s into the 80s. Never known as a high-performance motor, but boy, can these guys get some RPMs out of them here. These boats probably turn close to 7,000 RPMs toward the end of the straightaway. When the National Mods were out, I said, listen to that load, unload. When the boat is going through the turn and somewhat in the straightaway, the propeller will bite and lose bite and then bite again. It's sending shock waves through the drive lines. It's really tough on these motors. It's amazing that they put up with what and last as long as they do. Again, that 305 Chevrolet was never really known as a performance engine. But these guys can spin them on up, 6,000, 7,000 RPMs. .305s are also used in the Jersey speed skiffs that you'll see out here, but the motor of choice since 1957 has been the 283, a high revving, short stroke, small block Chevy. I believe that every skiff here is running the 283 this weekend. So it looks like Dale Hernandez Jr. is being pulled in. He decided to turn right and get off the race course, but he was unable to get all the way in, so I want to thank that towboat for pulling him in. Another reason that we go on hold at times. You have a boat break down and you have to get him off of the race course. Now, if a 5-liter hydroplane is dialed in properly, you'll see it bleeding air out from the sponsons and dance down the straightaway. You'll also see two different type rooster tails coming off these boats. You'll have the straightaway rooster tail, which is just prop blast. The propeller is chewing at the surface of the water and slinging hundreds of gallons of water up into the air as spray. That's the rooster tail you see all the way down the straightaway. And as soon as the boat takes a set into the turn, you'll see a big old tail come off of the left side of the boat. That's called the turn skeg. It drops down under the boat on the left side. That turn skeg, which is nothing more than a metal fin, helps the boat hold its line through the turn. Without that turn skeg, the boat would just slide out to the right and would hardly turn at all. But the water coming off of that turn skeg, with the pressure put on it from centrifugal force, puts about another 500 gallons of water up into the air. It's incredible. So you'll see that coming up soon. lot of work. These crews, the crew chiefs spend a massive amount of time spending time documenting what works and what doesn't. Again, we'll be running till 7 o'clock this evening as long as the weather holds up. I want to thank the town for letting us run a little bit later. Normally we have to have operations shut down by 5 p.m. But we had so much trouble with the race course earlier, anchoring of the buoys, and yesterday we couldn't do any setup whatsoever, so everything was on today. Apologize to all the spectators that showed up early and didn't get to see much except rain and wind. But man, oh man, is it nice here now, and the town has freed us up till 7 o'clock, so we should get quite a few racing heats in here. After 5, so hour and 50 minutes more. Again, 5-liter hydros coming up. Todd Liddycoat, Jeffrey Sinclair, Don Less, and Richard Hanon. Thanks again to Allen Memorial Healthcare Center for helping us out to put this event on. Sotos International, Reality Fence Incorporated, Elderly Incorporated, Hotel Exchange, Casella Recycling, Supergen Products, Alliance National Bank, Seneca Meadows Landfill, and Smith Center for the Arts, Historic Smith Opera House. Greatly appreciated all your help. Again, thanking the Seneca County Sheriff's Office Navigation and Dive Team for having a beautiful, well-equipped rescue boat out on the race course here to help us out. I want to thank Canadian Boating Federation Safety Team. That's that red boat straight out in front of us by the start-finish line here. I want to thank the Border City Fire and Dive Team for providing another boat. So we have 3 fully equipped dive boats, both inside and outside of the race course. Makes these drivers feel much more secure knowing that there's professional dive teams there to help them out if they get into any kind of a bad situation on the race course. I want to thank the New York State Park Service, or Park Police, I keep doing that. Thanks again for the New York State Park Police, the Yates County Sheriff's Office. I want to thank the Cayuga County Sheriff's Office, the Ontario County Sheriff's Office, and the North Seneca Ambulance Squad. We cannot do these type of events without your help, so thank you again. I want to thank the vendors for coming out, because man, I ate well today. Anybody that's hungry, get back there and get yourself, boy, that Spanish food concession is just unbelievable. I loved it. Good snow cone, good ice cream. Get yourself a t-shirt. Make sure you get yourself a Hydro Bowl on Seneca Lake t-shirt. Not far from the announcer stand on the right. There's a t-shirt stand that has a shirt I gotta have. I'm not gonna tell you what it says. You gotta get over there and check it out yourself, but so gotta have one. So I can go home and needle my friends that are into traditional sports. I don't know if you're like me, but If there's not an engine involved, I'm just not interested. After the 5 liters, we'll be going to the Grand National Hydroplane, our big block hydroplanes. A little bit different from the big block flat bottoms you just saw out there. Big block hydroplanes are basically stock. Not a whole lot of highly modified parts in the engines. They run one 600 CFM 4-barrel carburetor. So they are limited. Man, oh man, do they accelerate. A lot of torque in that big block. I want to thank the Empire State Boat Racing Association for working all year long to make this event happen. After those big block Grand National hydroplanes, then we'll go to what was supposed to be our first 2 heats of the day, but we had the weather issues. 2.5 stock hydros, our 4-cylinder Ford-powered class. And you might think that a little Pinto engine can't do much, but they go a whole lot faster in these race boats than they ever did in the cars they were designed to go in. Again, they twist them up good. 6,500, maybe even up to 7,500 RPMs. And these are stock Pinto engines. They really don't have a whole lot done inside of them. Balance work, blueprinting and such, but no real exotic parts and no exotic fuels, no supercharging of any type. So little 4 cylinders put on quite a show. We have 2 qualifying heats because we have quite a few 2.5 stocks here this weekend. Top 4 boats from each heat will transfer to a final tomorrow. After that will be the pro stock runabouts, very similar to the K racing runabouts that you just saw this past heat. A whole lot less horsepower, probably about 1,000 less horsepower. Still puts you back in the seat like a shot out of a gun. 600 horsepower on an 1,800-pound boat. Pretty much set up in the same configuration where the engine is behind the driver. Drive shaft will head forward in the boat into a V drive, reverse direction, right on out the bottom of the boat. I always thought those drivers are really brave having that gearbox right next to their thigh on the right side. Whew. After that, Jersey speed skips, 2 qualifying heats. 2 classes of boats here with fields big enough that we have to run qualifiers, and then again with the Jersey speed skips, top 4 boats transfer to the final. See some really aggressive qualifying driving. And in the final, it might get a little nuts. We'll see. 3 boats close in points for the National High Points Championship. After that, 2.5 modified hydroplanes. Another 4-cylinder class, but these boats have all kinds of different power plants in them. The 5-liter drivers are strapped in and ready to go. We're going 1 to the 5 in a few seconds here. 1 to the 5, 5-liter first qualifier here. Hydro Bowl on Seneca Lake. 2012, 2nd annual. Can't wait to get back here for the 3rd annual. This is a beautiful racing venue. Lessons learned from this year will be straightened out for next year. Glad to see that these new racing venues coming on the circuit here. I've been told that we had boat racing on this course here, or on this lake before. But it's been quite a few years, so this is basically the 2nd year inboard hydros on beautiful Seneca Lake here in Geneva, New York. 5-liter teams are ready to go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. Okay, 5-minute period has begun. 5-liter hydroplane. First one out. With surfacing propellers, they have zero efficiency until the boat is up on plane on top of the water. At that point, they become efficient, drive that boat forward, slinging a whole bunch of water up into the air. Todd Liddycoat, Team Extreme, coming through to score up. Richard Huneau, that beautiful Mr. Hornard.
Pretty good.
Jeffrey Sinkauer in the Modern Drummer E17 scoring it up. Don Less in the E500 Senseless 14. I do believe that's the 14th racing hull in the 5-liter class that the Less family has been campaigning. We're 3 minutes and 14 seconds to the start. Not Don Less driving. Don Less is the driver, or owner, I'm sorry. Dan Nablecki, driver, Senseless 14. And we are 2 minutes and 19 seconds to the start. Now, if you look off to the left in turn 2, the trolling begins. This is where the strategy comes in. Everybody wants lane 1. I don't know why these turns are awful tight. I think maybe lane 2 or 3 might be a little better. Through the start. Cuts across the infield. That's an illegal move. The only time you're allowed to cut across the race course is if you re-enter the race course on the back chute. Richard Huneau trying to hang on the outside. 20 seconds until they score up right in front of us here in the front chute. Todd Liddycoat. He wants lane 1. He's hugging tight on the inside. He better be very careful. He could get leapfrogged here real easy. 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, 1 minute 15 period has begun. So we are a minute and 10 seconds now from the start. Todd Liddycoat on the inside. Jeff Sacker on the outside. Richard Huneau on his hip. Start outside and behind for, I believe, 2 or 3 heats in the 5-liter class. Being told he's a qualifying rookie. I don't know if this is his very first time in the boat or not. Being told by the referee all he's ever done was test that boat one time. First time racing ever. We're 30 seconds until the start. Seconds to the start. About right around 12 seconds, the throttle will come up and they'll be making a charge for the line. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Marcus Richard Hinault takes him across the start-finish line with Todd Liddycoat on the inside. Not far on the outside, Jeffrey Sandra. And the biggie, sets list 14. Holding back behind. Down the back chute, 5-liter power. Todd Liddycoat on the inside gets back past Richard Hinault, opening it up to about 8 or 9, maybe 10 boat lengths. But on the outside in the third position, on the move, looks to me like Jeffrey Sanker on the outside of Richard Hinault. Let's see what happens coming through the apex of turn 2. You can't even see him in the spray, but there he is. Jeffrey Sanker on the outside. He's going to give some serious pressure to Richard Hinault for second place. You can see that boat dance side to side. That boat is packing air up underneath of it, spilling it out left and right. That's a loose race, fast hybrid. Again, these boats don't have an extreme amount of horsepower. They're only 2-barrel carburetors on a basically stock 305 Chevrolet. Jan Nablecki coming through, doing the right thing as a qualifying rookie. Stay out of trouble. Show the referee I know what I'm doing. Down the far end, coming out of the exit pin at turn 2. Todd Liddycoat, hard on the throttle. Team Extreme E97. Richard Hinault grabs back in there, keeps a hold of second place. Jeffrey Sanker falls back just a little bit, loses it. He was up, giving Richard a little bit of pressure there, but falling off a little bit now. We got some rainbow action. That sunlight is so low and shining. If you look at through turn 2 Rooster Tails, you're going to see some beautiful rainbows in the water. In the spray, I should say. Todd Liddycoat really on the throttle, looking to put and Nablecki a lap down. Can he do it? Richard Hinault goes wide. White flag is flying. Last lap. Richard Hinault running out of time. He can't get her back up in the first place. I don't think it's going to happen. But Jeffrey Sanker, if he can keep a hold of some momentum through the turn here. Hey, Richard Hinault makes one mistake. Jeffrey Sanker will be right on him. White flag is flying. Last lap. Todd Liddycoat coming through the turn. He's put Dan Nablecki down a lap. Checker flag is flying. Todd Liddycoat. Team Extreme E97 takes the win. E500 senseless 14. Dan Nablecki, he's a lap down, taking the white flag. He's got one more time around. Second place boat coming up. Richard Hinault. That beautiful red, white, and blue. Miss Bahorna. Down from Canada for the weekend. Jeffrey Sanker, a modern drummer, finishes up in third. Looked like there might have been a little bit of an infraction crossing the course and re-entering at the wrong place. So I don't know. We'll listen for the calls after this. See if there were any penalties. You see the black flag come up. That tells the drivers, return to the pits. No more parade laps. We got to get the next heat out. Todd Liddycoat, Team Extreme, doing a heck of a job here. And Don Lentz's senseless 14 finishing up. Driving nice and clean, showing the referee he can handle that machine. Qualifying rookie.
Yep, that's four.
You're racing that?
I would believe APBA rulebook states that a 5-liter driver, I'm pretty sure, 4 racing heats as a qualifying rookie starting on the outside and behind and not doing anything stupid. He comes in and the referee will sign his card. When he gets 4 signatures, they'll cut him loose and he will be a certified 5-liter driver.
Feel free to do whatever you want.
Jersey Speed Skiffs coming up later. I know for a fact it's 10 heats with them. You must compete and finish 10 heats, starting on the outside behind, not doing anything stupid before you can be signed off as a qualified Jersey Speed Skiff driver. So that'll tell you 5 liter is just a little bit easier to drive. Yep, it's official. The 17 boat, modern drummer Jeffrey Sanker, crossed the infield of the race course before the start and re-entered onto the race course in an illegal position. Now you are allowed to cross the center of the race course, but you can only re-enter the race course between the start-finish line and the entrance to turn 1, I believe. But that was the call, which puts him back into last place. He'll actually finish behind Dan Nablecki, unless Dan Nablecki was a full minute behind him. But at this point, official, Todd Liddycote, the winner. Richard Hanal, second place. Dan Nablecki in third. Jeffrey Sanker put to the back of the pack due to a course infraction.
Unless he came in, well, unless he came in through here and exited.
Next up, Grand National Hydroplane. Being told by the drivers, the referee's been informed, serious sun glare coming up the front chute. All these boats are equipped with a safety cell. The drivers are strapped in. They're looking through a Lexan windshield. And you get a little bit of water spray on there, and it can reflect all kinds of sunlight right directly into your eyes. Blocks, 454 Chevys. A couple guys messed around with Fords for a while, but the motor of choice is usually Chevrolet big block power, 600 CFM 4-barrel. Nothing exotic, but man, do they make some horsepower. We have GNH 55, Jay Gignac Century with Andre Bergeron as the driving. GNH 55, Gee Whiz. GNH 43, Jim Martin, owner and driver in Keens Villain. GNH 777. Cajun Queen, David Archibald. Stephen Pat Rankin as the owner. GNH 515, One Way. Joe Creature, Caddy Reese's entry out of Michigan. Good to see a full field, 4 boats, GNH's. This class has been suffering a little bit lately, but a little bit of a resurgence in the big block hydroplanes. I want to thank all the GNH teams for getting them out here. We are going to be able to race till 7 o'clock, but we do have an issue now where the sunlight is so low in the west sky. Coming up the front chute, major sun glare for the drivers to deal with.
Remember in Hamilton racing? Well, let's go then. Let's go. You know what? Tell everybody to put sunglasses on. They'll be okay. Seriously, it's not that bad.
After the Grand National Hydroplanes, 2.5 stops. Some fierce competition at 2.5 stop. A lot of boats.
Yeah, it was
2 qualifying heats. Top 4 from each qualifying heat will transfer to the final. It's got quite a field of 2.5 stocks and Jersey Speed Skiffs here this weekend. It was confirmed. Somebody pulled out a rule book. The 5-liter hydroplane, 4 racing heats to be qualified, but that's 4 clean heats. You make a mistake big enough to upset your referee, and you will not get your credit for that heat. So You go out there and do the right thing. Don't do anything stupid. 4 heats and you'll be cut loose as a qualified driver.
That's the key. We got all the good votes anyway. Just saying. It's 40 now. Oh, it's fine. He's the best. It does, but still, the same number.
Another kind of cool thing about the 5-liter stock hydro, you only have to be 16 years old to climb in one of these and pilot it. You can put a 16-year-old in a 100-mile-an-hour boat, man. That's awesome.
It's worse now than it was a minute ago.
He was, I don't know, radio's not working or?
Oh, yeah, no. Is Monahan in the boat? Alright, a spot over there. Not even close.
Still struggling with buoys. The start line buoy will not stay in place. Okay, I just heard officially all the Grand National Hydroplane drivers are strapped in and ready to go, chomping at the bit. Can't wait to get out there. So as soon as we get this start line buoy directly in front of us here, straighten out, we're going to go 5-minute period. Grand National Hydroplane. Cool to see the CBF rescue boat out there. What a machine. Okay, the start line is fixed. But will it stay? Question of the day. Grand National Hydroplane.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mark, 1 to the 5, Grand National Hydroplanes, 60 seconds until they come out on the course. Again, these are big block, Chevrolet powered, basically stock hydroplanes with a pretty small 4-barrel carburetor on them. Boy, do they make some big torque. They accelerate hard. Toward the end of the straightaway, pack a bunch of air under them. You'll see them dancing away.
Yeah, that looks big from here.
Yeah.
20 seconds to the 5. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. All right, 5-minute period has begun. Green flag is flying. 5 minutes till the start of this race.
Just these things right here. Anytime you're going to play.
Trying to get up on plane, and again, these are surfacing propellers, and when they're buried underwater, they just have very little efficiency. Looks to me like GNH 43 Keen's villain, Jim Martin. Does not have his engine cowl on. I don't know if he lost it or if it broke or whatever, but it could affect the aerodynamics a little bit. Stephen Rankin's boat. Going through and scoring up. Looks like one way, Joe Creature. Caddy Reese's for GNH 515 just went through. Andre goes around. Jay Gignac's beautiful black hydroplane. 3 minutes to the start. Looks like Jim Martin's coming back into the pits. What a shame. The referee asked the drivers to be very cautious, and if they couldn't see the flags or could not see down the front chute, please come in. So we're black flagging this heat. What a shame. As I said, though, you get a little bit of spray on the windshield of these boats, and that sun glare is right in your face. The water droplets can reflect an amazing amount of sunlight right into your eyeballs. Black flag is flying.
Max Stretch and Valley's good.
Well, the black flag is flying on the start-finish line. The rescue is going to come out and try to get the attention of the second two drivers. These two guys don't have any problem with the glare, but the other two drivers seem to think it might be a problem, so black flagging it. These boats, I can't begin to tell you, they really are dangerous. I mean, they are so fast, they have a lot of torque. If you don't have 100% vision, it is just absolutely unsafe conditions. And the reason I say that is we know this from experience. We have had situations where visibility was poor. We have one boat bring down to the straightaway and another boat flying up behind it does not see it run right over. And it is actually a deadly situation. So in the interest of safety, we're bringing the GNHs back in. Yep, it's confirmed. The two drivers that pulled in off of the race course first, they couldn't even see. So they pulled off the race course.
Put a pair of sunglasses on.
He's saying it might be hard to see the car.
Well, goddamn, I'm at the freaking thing looking right at it, and it don't look that bad to me. I mean, I see what they're saying a little bit.
I'm hearing right directly from the horse's mouth. The rescue personnel boat right in front of us cannot look down toward the Ramada Hotel. There's so much sun glare from that low in the sky sun in the west sky. So we're in discussions here on where we're going to head with this. Again, these boats are extremely fast and, quite frankly, extremely dangerous. So in the interest of safety, we shut that heat down. Now they're in discussion on whether we're going to continue here.
I got the guys in the J&H who also been running for a lot of years. Yes.
We've been dealt a tough hand here with weather all weekend. So we lost Friday completely due to weather. Big struggle Saturday recovering from our inability to get the race course set up on Friday due to weather. And then we have wind issues and rain, and now we're dealing with sun glare. We'd love to put a show on it. Believe me, these drivers are absolutely beside themselves. They want to be on the race course. They want to put on a show for us. We want to put a show on for you, but it's just not worth risking the safety of these drivers when it's a dangerous situation. Yeah, we're at 10 of 6 right now on the time, 10 of 6 p.m. We're going to go on hold for 15 minutes to give the sun just a little bit of time to get out of the line of view for the drivers. It was confirmed by our rescue crew right at the start-finish line that they couldn't look west whatsoever without just closing their eyes. The sun glare is so intense. At that point, safety concerns, we have to be on hold. So we're going to give it 15 minutes to see if the sun can move out of the way. We're okay to race until 7 o'clock, so now's your chance to go get something to eat, maybe a light dinner at the concession stands. Man, I got to tell you, that Spanish food that my wife got for me at lunchtime, I'm ready for some of that for dinner. Snow cones and ice cream, hot dogs and t-shirts. 15-minute delay at least here, so now's your chance if you're hungry to get up, check it out. Okay, we are going to make a rock-solid decision in 15 minutes whether we are going to continue or not. We won't string you along anymore. 15 minutes, we will know whether we're racing today or not. But remember, the entire program tomorrow, God willing, with the sun, the wind, and the rain, we're going to run the entire program here tomorrow, which hopefully will get started a little bit earlier. The weather will cooperate. Get all these racing heats in. All the teams that ran today have a bit of a baseline. They know what they have to do. They can guess pretty well what they have to do to make the boats a little faster for tomorrow. So hopefully we'll see some really awesome racing action here tomorrow. Your $10 gate to get in today will cover you for tomorrow too, so make sure you keep your wristband or ticket. Okay, so your gate and your pit passes will be accepted tomorrow all day long. So if you paid your $10 to get in and an extra $10 to get into the pit, we will be honoring that tomorrow. You can get in for free. It seemed to get a little shadier instantly here. It might have been a cloud, I don't know, but I hope that sun drops down at least close to the horizon or get out of the way of the drivers on the front stretch. What a shame. You know, it wouldn't be an issue if we were just going down the back chute. It's a cloud? Yeah, crew chief just told me it's a cloud, so never wished for clouds so bad. Come on, clouds, cover up that sun. Let's go racing. Yeah, the front chute would be absolutely dangerous. If we had a boat lose power, stop, or maybe even drastically slow down on the front straight, and the boat behind him closing the gap can't see him because of sun glare, it's literally, again, literally a deadly situation. So we, in the interest of safety, are on hold. In another 10 minutes, we're going to make the decision whether we're going to continue here today or not.
I don't want to walk all the way down there and have to walk over that.
Yeah, you go up all scratch. You're in the line. Let's go race.
Mike, need your glasses.
Who's got a set? Oh, I thought you said, do you have a set of glasses on right now?
He's got them?
He's got J. Gig next.
Lee ran all the way down.
Yeah, Jay was doing fine with that. Talking careful. He's on it. That's why they came in.
But Jason was pretty bad too. Let's send him out there and let's have him.
Again, this is in the interest of safety. It's not paranoia. This has happened. It has happened where a boat has gone down and limited visibility caused a collision. So tough on me. I like boat racing. I don't like sitting here talking. I want to see some boats on the course, but when it comes to safety, that overrides any desire to watch boat racing.
That way.
About 8 minutes, we're going to make our decision.
You know what? They're in the water. Give them a shot.
Cut you off or something? Oh, that's what's going on.
For sure. Because they really don't.
Only value.
Is there any restriction as to what time you can start tomorrow morning?
I was there on West Memphis.
Can we move the drivers meeting up early and try and get started at 9? Well, what we're trying to do is drivers meeting both on the way at 9. Okay. All right. Catch that.
Just had a little powwow with the officials, and it looks like we will go racing at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So what the goal will be is to complete all of the racing heats that we did not complete today, along with Sunday's entire program. So God willing, weather and such, we'll be racing at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
At all kinds of time, right?
I was standing there with him, and I said, that's what Valley Field needs for the 70s.
Yeah. You didn't see him.
They need to bring people on back.
He's the only one that's any fast.
I bet they can change it.
I think we're done. Are you kicking the flags on? Hey, Dave, got excited when
What kills my niece's birthday party? That's fine. You can get Mike's radio somewhere.
You know what though? Now that the sun's moved that way, you got no glare here now. Why don't we give it a freaking shot?
Yeah, that cable, oh my God.
Oh, that is so cool.
He didn't even have to lift.
It just, I don't remember cables going around a corner like that.
Well, they were saying that. Joey, look at this.
I had a chill when I spent my pilot there.
And then he kept going down the straightaway.
I guess they're sending the rescue boat back out on the water.
That's what they said. He's going to West Virginia, do the deal over.
Oh, they grab on him? Monahan's going out in the rescue boat and they're going to go get him on. He says don't do it. Well, the sun is definitely going that way. I mean, now, when I went up there earlier, you could see all kinds of glare in the water. Now you can't.
I know what my uncle's saying right now.
It's too bad.
Son of a bitch, you shut it off. My uncle's at home watching this live.
Oh, my wife did.
He hates it when all of a sudden you're watching it and all of a sudden he shuts off. He leaves the screen on. Yeah, I didn't sell him this year.
How does he get so? How come he gets so?
Number, yeah.
Yeah, but they need to like.
They need to like put sunglasses on and splash water at them at the same time.
The only way they can do it.
I think Mark can help drive. Rescue.
Yeah, but you don't look from there. You want to look from up front. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wait, no, Monahan's going out this thing. Oh wait, I should get this. Should be on the radio with him. Yeah, I didn't know you were going out, dude. I thought you were going to the rescue. I thought you were going in the rescue. I didn't know you were going in the rescue. Get a timing run while you're doing it.
Out on the race courses, Mike Monahan, he's in the S9 Rewinder. Greg Barker's entry out of Grand Island. He's going to go down the back chute here, get her up to speed, come up into the front chute, and give us a report on the sunlight. Now from Rescue's perspective, there was
Rookie
too much
camera
sun,
guy.
but
Yep.
we're going to go from a seasoned hydroplane driver's perspective.
It's just black right
When he comes around the turn here, he's going to look down the straightaway and make sure that he can see all of the buoys. If he can see the buoys, a pretty good chance of seeing any other competitor on the race course that might have a problem. That's a 2.5 stock hydroplane with a 4-cylinder Ford in it.
What'd he say?
The whole front stretch, or just when you come out of the turn?
It does not seem as bad now as it was a couple minutes ago. That's what.
Is it raceable, or should they hold off?
Hey, Mike, they think there's a drunk cameraman out there.
There is. I will be.
What? What he said? I put it on. It's not me filming right now. I'm not filming.
There's definitely a glare, but he's got sunglasses on and goes not great.
All right, I found my new camera guy.
What do you recommend?
Find me a new camera guy.
Don't want that we have some people who don't have sunglasses and have not.
No, there's some guys out there that have sunglasses and a ton of experience.
All right, now we're waiting on the report from Mike Monahan to see what happens with his perspective, and he's hardcore, so we're going to see what happens here. I see some skiff drivers on the right over there, chomping at the bit. Let's get out here, skiffs to the crane.
Still there, Mike?
Hey, is this reminiscent of Cambridge?
Mike, Gabline, or Sam, can you get over by Monahan so we can talk to Dave?
Yeah, Dave, he said that at the start-finish line it gets really glary. I asked him if somebody broke down there, can you see him? He goes, no, you wouldn't be able to see him.
Thank you. All right, that's it.
Mitch, he just called it. I don't know what you're going to say.
The answer was when we got by the start-finish line, somebody had broken down. Can you see him? He said no.
Okay, that's it, folks. I'm sorry to say it's official. We're calling it for the day. Mike Monahan, a seasoned driver, and I'm telling you, this guy is hardcore. For him to tell us that when he crossed the start-finish line, he couldn't even see the entrance buoys to turn one from the glare. We have to shut it down. So I apologize for all of the problems that we had today. I know for sure that we have some really hardcore fans out here that have traveled a long way. Please come back tomorrow. I promise you, we'll put on an amazing show. We're hoping to be starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. Boats will be in the water by 8:30. We're going to have an 8 o'clock drivers meeting. 8:30 boats will start going in the water. We will be racing by 9 o'clock if everything lines up. Hopefully it should. 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Please come back. We promise you an incredible show. All of your wristbands and your tickets are absolutely going to cover you to get in here. Your pit passes and your gate are good for tomorrow, so there'll be no more cost to get in here. I just can't apologize enough for all the problems we had today, for all your hardcore racers and all you hardcore fans. We promise tomorrow will be a much, God willing with the weather, will be a much more interesting show. So at this point, we're shutting her down. We'll see you tomorrow. My name's Mitch Brown, and I hope that we get a whole lot more people, and see you in the morning.
All right, everyone. I'm gonna keep my mouth closed. Sorry for all the delays today, and hopefully we can get our act together and start at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. All right, so I'm gonna sign off, and I think I'm going to drink a lot tonight after today. All right. Take care. Bye.